Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap.
Roll the intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bitcade. But joining me is not David. David is he has prior plans and had to go and do something. But don't worry, we're getting an episode out there. We've been on hiatus of Bitcade for a while, so we're gonna get you an episode. Joining me is
Oh, me?
yeah.
I'm Jamison.
Yeah. You're not going to go by JMO like you did in your in PT 3600 episode?
That's a nickname for a different series.
Oh, okay. All right. Go check out PT 3600.
This is gonna be Jamal.
Wow.
Jamal.
All right. Let's see if you remember that by the end of the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode we are going to be talking about conventions. We're also going to be talking about DLC, and we're also going to talk about future of video games. I thought you were going to make a fart sound. I was like, I didn't know what you were doing there. So for audio listeners, you guys can also watch the video version of this podcast. That's what it is. And
We only charge $5 an episode.
no, not yet, but but we will. We're gonna do this episode, and we're gonna have a good time.
Let's get her done.
All right, so let's talk about conventions. You have been to 2 of them.
Yes, I have.
PAX West. I have been to PAX West as well, but I've gone to, 2012, 2013, 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Six PAXs.
I have been to PAX West 2016 and 2018.
17.
Yeah.
You didn't go this year.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
16 and 17. But yeah, I thought that, you know what, I don't get to talk about conventions when David's here because he's not been to one. But you have. You have been to some video game conventions. So I guess we'll just talk about some of the ones that we feel like are like moments that are great at PAX. So let's talk about your first time you went to PAX. Let's do that. So I guess it's mainly going to be about PAX, but hey, you know what? Whatever. We'll kind of make it a broader thing that most video game conventions are going to have this anyway.
Oh yeah.
But if you've ever gone to a PAX, you'll understand as well. So let's talk about your first PAX. How did that go about?
Well, I knew to bring a nose plug for the next one, for the one after that, because it was very stinky.
Yeah.
People have very horrible BO.
But then they gave out deodorant next year.
Yeah,
they didn't do it this year.
Yeah.
But that was kind of
yeah.
interesting.
My first year, they had a giant box with tiny little traveling Old Spice. It was swagger. It was Old Spice swagger. People did not use it.
It's not as bad. It's not bad. It was worse in 2012. I feel like it gets better throughout the year. Throughout the years of it.
They should just have showers there so that people can just
Then people
shower.
wouldn't leave.
Well, then they just don't serve food.
Yeah, I guess that's true. See, the thing is that they used to the PAX used to be 24 hours. They did it for like a whole weekend, and it would be 24 hours, and people wouldn't go home. So then it really stank. And so they stopped doing that, and then eventually that's why the convention hall closes at like 7, and then everyone has to go home.
Yeah.
You don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the heck out of here, kind of thing. But yeah, I think so. The thing about the first year you only went 2 days.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about PAX. PAX traditionally is 3 days, except for PAX West. PAX West is 4 days. And so since we are in Washington, we go to PAX West, which is originally PAX Prime. I got to go the last year for PAX Prime, which was in 2012, and then they eventually changed it. But it was, I think it was 2012. Maybe it's 2013. I don't know. But yeah, it's from kind of lost my point of what I was trying to say because I went and focused back on PAX. But the thing about conventions is like it's just kind of cool because one of the mottos that PAX has is like, come play video games with the family like you haven't met yet, kind of thing. And it's kind of cool because it is that environment of really anyone is approachable, like whether they're at the booths or just you're standing in line with some random person. You're there for the same thing. And like
Yeah.
you're there to experience the video games that like you love. So if you're standing in line for Resident Evil 2, like more than likely that person standing next to you wants to play Resident Evil. So you probably have some sort of common interest in with that person. It's kind of cool. Like we were I don't know if we ever did this when you went, but this year Ashton and I, when we were standing in line, we played Heads Up, and
Oh.
it was just him and I, and then it kind of like spread. You know that like Disneyland like
Yeah, that happened
virus
a lot
that
while we were
happens.
down there.
Yeah, because once someone brings it out, then other people start seeing, and they're like, "Oh, it's that
Yeah.
Heads Up game," and then they start playing it. It's just a way to pass time, because especially
Yeah.
when you're like waiting in line, you
Yeah.
can play your Switch or
I
whatever.
remember we did that while we were in the Destiny line, and when we were waiting to get inside one morning with
Mhm.
Ashton. Yeah, I remember that.
So let's talk with you, Jamison. What are some, if you were to give 3 highlights from the 2 years that you've been? Let's do it this way. I'll give 3 highlights and you give 3 highlights. Okay. So
Okay.
then you go one, I'll go one, you go one.
Now,
I'll go
for the
one.
people at home that don't know what PAX stands for, do you want to?
You can say it if you know. Do you know it?
It's like Penny Arcade
Expo.
Annual. Yeah.
Expo.
The
Yeah.
thing that doesn't make sense is that Expo starts with an E.
Yeah, that's the abbreviation is X. Oh, it's
Huh.
in every convention. Like anything that has Expo is usually an X. Like PSX, like PlayStation Conference, but then they call it a conference, so it's weird. It just kind of makes it 3 letters kind of
Yeah.
thing. So, but yeah.
Do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Do you need time?
I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
So in 2017, it was Ashton, Ryan, and I, and we were all at BYOC. And we were all gaming, having a fun time. And I had to go to the potty.
Oh, you're gonna tell it.
Yeah.
You have said this story before, but this does have to do with PAX, so I'll allow it.
I went to the bathroom, and I was in the stall, minding my own business. And I hear this guy, probably about all the way down the bathroom. And then he screams at the top of his lungs, "No back talk."
Yeah, that's definitely a good.
And I came back to BYOC,
Which
and
is bring your own computer.
yeah.
So that's at PAX. But anyway.
And I told them about it, and that was probably one of my favorite PAX memories.
Yeah,
That was
because
pretty funny.
the thing is that kind of stuff just kind of puts an icing on the cake of the kind of comedy and sense of humor that everyone at PAX has. Of like, they are not afraid to be like a little bit extra. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. And like, and sometimes it gets a little too much, but sometimes people know exactly what they're doing, and it can be pretty funny. I think one of my favorite memories is, I have no particular order of what my favorite memories are. Was when we went to the closing ceremony for the first time. I
yeah.
never got to do that before, and that was pretty cool. And it was your first PAX. It was in 2016, and I think it was. Oh man, what was the Omegathon for that one?
It was It was
Super Mario World.
I think it was
with on a Game Genie.
I think it was like it wasn't Donkey Kong was 2017. 2016 was the
I think it was Mario.
it was Mario something.
Yeah,
But
I think it was Super Mario 3 or something like that. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was pretty cool to see that for the first time, because I've gone to previous PAXs, but just time and based on the people that I was with, they just didn't really want to do it, and so it was kind of cool to like finally get to go and see it, and yeah, that was a cool
Yeah, 'cause
memory.
you don't want to be there and there's that one guy that just wants to go sleep in a car or anything.
Yeah.
You want to have it be a
Yeah,
good time.
yeah, you want to try and get the fullest of what you can do,
Yeah.
and I think it was great. Like the fireworks, not fireworks, but the confetti that popped out at the very end, and the win. It makes you feel like something significant has really happened. You also get to see Mike and Jerry, the creators of Penny Arcade.
Those
so
are funny.
they are really funny. Their D&D is hilarious. If you ever get a chance, you get the time after this podcast, go check out the D&D that Penny Arcade plays. It goes back all the way to like 2009 or something, maybe even before that, because there was podcasts before it. But 2009, I think, is when they started doing the video, and they started doing it at PAX, and it's hilarious. I've never been able to see it live, but I watch it usually. Now I just watch it live streamed when it's on Twitch when it's happening, because it's usually pretty late. But anyway, what's your other memory you want to talk about? Do you need a little bit more time?
Thing is, I wasn't really thinking.
Yeah, you were listening to what I was saying. Yeah, that's fine.
There was I guess it doesn't really involve PAX, but
is it during PAX?
It was during PAX. It was a place that we went to eat, but
what is that?
I can't.
Well, let's talk about that. That's kind of the thing. Here's some places that you can probably kind of eat at too.
I remember it was us three, like you, me, and maybe it was Kai that was with us.
So it was 2016.
We walked down that one long stretch of road.
I think it's Pike.
I know it was like kind of like a barbecue-y burger kind of place.
Was that
I want to say Johnny Rockets, but I know.
Was that Shake Shack or something like that?
I think it was.
Yeah. Whatever it's called.
It was like a guitar musical.
Oh,
thing.
that's Hard Rock Cafe.
That's what. Yeah, that place is.
Okay. All right. I mean, to each their own.
I don't remember what I got, but I know
you got a burger.
Good.
I think.
I know it was a burger, but for some reason I don't think it was like a sriracha kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty good place.
Yeah, food is kind of something you got to think about when you're at PAX, because you got to think about, or any convention, you have to think about what are you going to eat. Sometimes the convention center provides food, which is okay. But sometimes you can find some golden gems. Hard Rock Cafe is a pretty good one, but it's also pretty well known. There was a few that we tried, that pizza place that one time.
Oh my gosh.
Romeo's. Shout out to Romeo's. I don't even care if they don't see this video. Shout out to Romeo's, because Romeo's is amazingly good pizza.
I'm not saying oh my gosh because of the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm just saying oh my gosh.
So that's gonna be my second look, we're talking about food. We'll go into food. There's a pizza place in Seattle that they have, and it's like it used to be kind of a little bit away from the convention center. They closed that down.
Yeah.
And they got a new building that's like a little bit closer.
Yeah,
like,
didn't you guys find that out the hard way?
Yeah, we thought they closed down for good, but their Google thing hadn't updated because they just reopened for PAX. And yeah, we got to have it. They have this like oh man, the pizza they had, it's like traditional Greek style pizza, which is interesting. And they had like a tomato, which I'm not a fan of having solid like tomatoes on my pizza, but it was pretty darn good.
I
like
cubed tomatoes on my pizza.
They had like 3 different types of cheeses, and I think one of them was like a goat cheese, like a goat Greek cheese, really creamy. And then they had they had meat that was sliced from a kebab, and they put that on top of it too.
Oh.
And it was top. It was so freaking good. The crust is always cooked really well. It's by far my like go-to place now. Is
Very
Romeo's.
interesting. We gotta try that out.
Yeah.
For 2019.
Do you have a third memory?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
And this, wow. I was gonna talk about the Primal Target cards.
Okay.
The
You're going to out us here? No, it's fine.
I'm trying to remember.
We didn't do it this year. We didn't do it this year.
I'm trying to remember the name of the cards.
The business cards?
Yeah, the business cards. Okay. Some of the funny moments. So what we were doing.
This was in 2017.
Is that we were trying to spread the word of Primal Target by sneaking business cards into people's bags. And
this was Ashton's idea, might I add.
One of the funnier ones that I saw was that we were on the escalator, and Ashton saw a girl that had a big bag on her shoulder, and he had it like a ninja star, and he just flicked it, and it went into the bag. And then I think she ended up turning around. And he just went.
Yeah. There were some moments we got almost caught. I'm not gonna count this as my third memory, but there was the when you and I were at the Intel booth.
Yeah, the Intel, the
And
Overwatch stuff.
yeah, and this guy was standing
Yeah.
next to Jamison, and so he had his bag open, and I was like, I was gonna just drop it down, but I was trying to play it way too cool, and I dropped it in there, and as soon as because I was like, I look over to Jameson and I'm trying to play it off of like, hey, yeah, oh man, he didn't. He did a good job as Roadhog, and the guy turns around as I'm dropping it in, and it goes in his bag, and I'm like this, and I look over to Jameson, and I'm like, yeah, so it's a great time. And I'm like, and then the guy just goes, and then he turns back around, and I'm like, okay.
Wait, when about the Ash? Did you see him do it?
Yeah, I saw him like
That
flick it, and
she
then
was
landed in there.
really far
She
away.
She was probably a good
5 steps maybe.
I thought she was probably about 10 feet away from him when he flicked it in there. It was like pure chance
with
of
the space
I don't know
about
how it
that
happened.
big.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it,
but yeah, that Intel one was pretty funny.
Yeah, my third memory, my final memory I would like to highlight is the first PAX I went to it had its ups and its downs, but it was also the one that was the first time the only one that my dad went to. And that was pretty cool to like see him experience games of my time, and then also they had the arcade. What was it? There's like a Seattle show that focuses on just retro like arcade video games.
Oh, he probably liked that a lot.
And so they had a room. They bought out a room for PAX 12, and he was in there for like hours. He was playing like Dragon's Lair. He was playing yeah, I think that's what it was. And then like he's playing all these different like arcade games that he used to spend so much money on at the mall, but now it was all free play. So he was just like playing them,
yeah,
and I left and then came back and he was still playing those, and that was really cool to see like my dad experience the games that he grew up and loved. And I don't know, that's part of the reason why I love video games so much is keeping it into the topic of conventions. It is that moment of this is what brings us all together is the video games, and you can be any race or creed, you can be of any age, you can be of any orientation, and it brings us all together, and we're gamers. Like we play video games together, and you can just meet some really cool people that you might not ever see again, but you definitely can like experience this thing together, and you will always have memories of that one time, and it only happens once. Like once PAX is over, it never happens like the same way again. Like every year has its like stories and set paths and whatnot, and you don't even know what you're gonna do when you get there.
No.
But yeah, it's what's been maybe like a favorite game that you played there? Do you have a favorite game you played there? I'm trying to think of one too. I'm like, there's a couple. Did all three of us play one?
We did H1Z1.
We did do that one. We did do when they were doing King of the Hill.
Yeah. There was another I have it on my iPad, but I can't remember the name. There's a few games that we did that all together. The only one that I probably only liked was probably H1Z1, mostly because on all the other games I just got bad rolls, and I just
yeah. It's because that's kind of crazy. It's like you also will be playing video games that you probably will never play.
No.
But
Cuphead was pretty fun.
Cuphead was really fun. We got to play that together last PAX. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's just been so many different games. A lot of indie titles are really fun to play. Like you'll experience some games that have this weird, unique. I remember one year, I think it was PAX 2015, and Kent and I played this turn-based basketball game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was at the Mega Indie booth, and it was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, a turn-based basketball game. So yeah, there's just really unique games that you can play, and
I think that actually the first game that I've ever played at PAX, I think was Minecraft VR. Remember that in 2016?
Yeah.
I think that was probably the first game that I played at
That was the first time I used VR.
Yeah, same.
Was at PAX. Luckily, that was at the beginning of the day, so the VR system's really clean. So I was glad that we did
no
that.
kidding.
But yeah, there's some crazy stuff. Sometimes we get like the excess E3 stuff, but it's still pretty cool because then it's like $300 cheaper to go to PAX than it is to go to E3.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? We might try to go to E3 one of these years. I don't know. It's in Los Angeles.
Didn't one of you guys want to go to TwitchCon?
Yeah, it was a while, but now we're on Mixer, so we kind of just ditched them. But how about this? We'll end this conversation. We'll end this part off with what conventions we'll get to. Okay, what conventions would you like to go to? I'll start it off. I'll let you think about it. I think I would love to go to PAX Australia. PAX Australia, A, it's in Australia, and B,
Go to the Outback.
yeah, it's just like you get to do other stuff too. Like it's one of the other things. I know a lot of people will probably say that about Seattle as well, but there isn't very much stuff up here. But yeah, I think I'd want to go to PAX Australia, just experience that like whole new culture as well as a video game convention. Because then it's like it's less intimidating. Like you're going to an event that everyone's gonna like love the same thing.
Yeah.
Plus, then you can like kind of venture out and do whatever you need to do. What about you, man?
Honestly, I don't really know that many. Like,
Well, there's PAX East, there's PAX South, there's
we're only talking about
no
PAX?
There's RTX.
So I know
there's
Minecon.
That's actually happening really soon. I think.
dedicated wham.
Yep, the dedicated web. I think they don't do those. They don't do them in certain locations anymore. I think they do these like meetups now, and then they just stream whatever they're gonna do, and then like
Yeah, I don't really know if I have a.
there's E3. There's
That would be pretty cool to do.
you want to go to E3?
That would be pretty cool.
Okay. What is it about E3 that kind of stands out to you?
Because they pretty much talk to you about like all the
The press conferences
year.
and whatnot?
Yeah.
So you'd want to go to the press conferences.
Well, yeah.
See, I think the best combination is you go to E3, you try to get into the press conferences, and then at PAX you go and play them at PAX.
That'd be smart.
I think that's the combination.
That's also
right there.
like shit money, but
Yeah, that is a lot of money. I think the other convention, my second one, would be Gamescom, and that's in is it Germany or France? I don't know. Now I can't even remember now. But anyway, Gamescom is like the European version of E3, but open to the public. So it's like a combination of E3 and PAX, and then multiplied by like 5, because it's I think last year they had like 3,500 people, and then this year they opened it up to 5,000 people.
I couldn't do
or
that.
500,000 people, or something crazy. It was just some astronomical number. And now I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, so go look them up.
Be able to do that.
There's some crazy number, but it's a big venue. That's the thing. It's like the biggest venue one of the biggest venues that they have. So that's why it's kind of an interesting thing. But anyway, what about you? You'd also get to experience like a European country. So.
I've already been to Europe though.
Not to those places. They're not all the same. They're different countries.
Yeah, but
all right. But anyway, do you got another one? There's RTX.
I don't really know that many.
There's
cons.
PSX.
I don't know what that is.
PSX is PlayStation's conference.
Oh, screw PlayStation.
Isn't
there a Microsoft thing?
There is not a Microsoft. Well, there is one happening this year, which is kind of interesting. It's called like XO18. XO is their thing. I don't know what the heck XO means.
Well, Kiss Hug.
Yep. It's the Kiss Hug hosted by Xbox. That's what it is. Thank you, Jamison.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. That's happening in Mexico City this year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know when. So you'd want to go to a Microsoft conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like a Microsoft event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they officially have one because it seems like they're trying to bring it back, but I'm not sure if this is actually something they're going to keep doing. It'd be cool if they do.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't just call it Xbox Live. But then again, I guess they would be stuck with Xbox, but then you've already named your stuff that, so why would you not call it
Yeah.
that? Yeah, I'm trying to think of a third one. I think there's one called Tokyo Games Week. No, not week. Tokyo. It's like a game convention, over in Tokyo, and I think that would be really cool. Like to go
if
to
you
Japan.
can speak Japanese.
You'd be surprised on what countries can try and fit together English.
Europe has really good English.
Yeah, because they teach it there. Well, also one of their countries is English, but usually other countries are pretty adaptive to like other languages.
Mm-hmm.
It's just America. We either have, we don't even have French, and like they're only north of us, not north of us, but there's French Canadians.
We have French.
What I'm saying is like usually our signs are in English or Spanish. There's no French option. When you go to like Poland, there was English, Polish, German, French. Like there were 3 different languages on one sign just to tell you where to go.
Because I know my high school, we have German, we have Spanish.
Yeah, I understand like they teach it to you, but what I'm saying is in natural like streets and whatnot, you get 2 languages and that's it.
Yeah.
At most. And sometimes they don't even get Spanish in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
Do you have a third one? Or what would be like a dream one you would want to go to? Maybe there is one already existing. That's why I was. There's Rooster Teeth's conference with RTX.
I don't watch Rooster Teeth though.
That's in Austin. That's really hot.
Austin, Texas.
There's D23. Didn't even talk about that.
I don't know what that is.
D23 is Disney's podcast. Or
I
not
do.
podcast,
Yeah.
Convention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Actually,
I think that'd be my sub 4th one as well. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, D23. Who knows? It's in Anaheim, so we might try to. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll be there in a few months.
Yeah, we'll see if not like I don't know when D23 is or when, but we might try to sneak down there. I don't know.
Well, 'cause I know there is a Disney Hall kind of thing that has a lot of the original like Disney things that Walt had worked on. But I'm getting off task now. But.
Yeah. So if you guys want us to go to any of those conferences, put in the comment section below which ones you think it would be cool for us to go to. And then also put ones that you want to go to, or you just do that one. Put in the comment section below which conferences you've been to and want to go to, and that will end that part. So we're moving on.